What's up? Welcome to another 5-pillar mobility session. Today's routine, we're jumping into shoulders and trunk. Let's start by finding a nice comfy spot on your mat. Lying on your back, finding a nice comfortable, relaxing headspace. Taking some attention to your breath. Let's focus on directing that air deep. Feeling that belly rise in the inhale. Slowly letting go of that breath through the nose. And allow yourself to find a nice, natural, calming, relaxing rhythm with your breath. And if you find counting your pacing useful, you can count your breath here. You can use box breathing to a 4 count. And if counting adds any stress to the experience, don't bother counting. Just try slowing it down to a nice pace that helps you find calm. We'll take a couple of breaths with some target around our interest for today, which is the shoulders and trunk. On your next exhale, feel those shoulders just sink heavy into your mat, relaxing through those pecs, through your lats, your traps, and your head and neck. Let's take one breath with some attention on the arms, softening through your triceps, biceps. And let's take one more breath here. We'll let go of that breath. And we'll start our attention on the left T-spine. You can use a foam roller here. We're going to spend 1.5 minutes working through the left side of your T-spine. And your T-spine spans the whole length of your ribs. So do some panning through that muscle tissue. You might find the rhomboids are tight or the traps. Maybe down into the lats. Whatever is tight around that left side of your thoracic spine. Just take your attention there and then find the right stimulus, the right amount of pressure that helps that tissue settle down. Focusing as much of your attention on your breath as you can to help calm your state of mind and allow that state of calm to just spread through your whole body. And again, you can continue to count your breaths if you find that helpful. Just really choose your own adventure. Just find that rhythm with your breath that works specifically for you. Let's take one more breath here. You can slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll take our attention to the right side. So if you found a good target on the left, you may find you're tight around the same spot, just on the opposite side of the spine. You may not be. So if we're not feeling the same on this side and you feel like another spot needs more attention, feel free to pan through the whole length of that tissue and just search for what needs attention. And then search for what kind of angle we need to apply that pressure. You can experiment with how much you're leveraging your body around that. Just lifting parts of your hips off the floor or your upper back. Generally, the less contact your body has on the mat, the more pressure we'll have on that target tissue. So just find a position and posture that works for you. It can be useful to move your arm into an overhead to feel out how your T-spine responds when we're in a position of restriction. Just feel out your posture, your target specific area, your rhythm of breath. Find what works for you. Let's take one more breath here. And we'll take our attention to the left side pec. Let's go face down on your lacrosse ball. Pan through that entire pec. Try not to fall into your traditional go-to spot on your pec, unless that is what needs attention. You may find that area is going to change day to day. It might change where exactly you're tense, how much tension you've got. So keep searching. The only way to find your true trouble spots are by some trial and error, searching through that whole tissue and feeling out what needs attention. And once you've found that spot, settle back into your breath. Use your breath to calm your mind, and use your mind to calm that pec. Just let your body slowly let go of tension, doing your best to stay as passive as you can throughout your whole body. Regularly scan through any target area that feels tension that doesn't need it. You don't need tension in your face, your head, your neck, your hands, your feet. Just let it all go. Let's take one more breath here, and we'll switch sides into that right pec. So let's pan through this entire muscle, search for what needs attention, experiment with how we're applying this pressure, how much pressure we're applying, the posture we're in here. You may find you get a completely different release when your arm is into an overhead, so if your elbow is above your shoulder line. Keep experimenting and playing with it, and feel out what this exercise is going to look like for you today. And then focus yourself back on your breath, maintaining that nice rhythm, that pace of breath that helps you find that nice state of calm, that nice state of relaxation that's going to allow your body to free up some of that tension to allow some healing and better movement. Let's take one more breath here. And as you let go of that breath, and we'll shift our focus into the left serratus. So the serratus anterior sits on the front side of your ribs, below that armpit area. If you're not an anatomy person and you find you're struggling to find a spot, don't stress the names or the exact location. Just focus yourself on the area, and then experiment with the amount of pressure, how we're applying that pressure, in the specific posture we're in while we're releasing. And then focus your attention back in your breath. Use that calming rhythm to calm your state of mind. And let that calming state of mind just spread through your whole body. Submitting to this pressure, allowing that tissue to settle down and free it up for better movement. Staying as passive as we possibly can, relaxing through that head, neck, and face. And let's take one more long, slow breath into that lower abdomen. As we let go of that breath, we'll switch into the right side. Starting in the general same area around that serratus anterior. Do some searching around that area, finding some trouble spots, and then experimenting with the angle to apply that. Experimenting with the amount of pressure, and again, your posture. This is a good one to get into an overhead position if you do struggle. with an overhead position. And then settle into your posture, settle into your position, settle into your rhythm, and focus on your breath. Allow that breath to calm everything in between your ears. Allow everything to slow down. And get nice and chill. Now take one more breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll get prepped for a little work around that left first rib area. So we access the first rib through the pocket that sits just above your collarbone on the left side and anterior to your traps. So you've got a pocket that's about the size of a lacrosse ball for most people. And if you don't find it fits right in that pocket, you can use your fingertips. But if you find it fits well, find a ledge, wedge that lacrosse ball into that pocket, and use that ledge to add some pressure into that pocket. And this is another one that tends to restrict overhead movement. So if you get into an overhead, just moving that elbow above your shoulder line, it'll help free you up in that position of restriction, so we can get there with a little less resistance. And that's the first step to getting there. Can we get there without resistance? And that'll allow us to start to build strength and stability in that position. Let's aim for one more nice, really good quality breath. Direct that air deep into that lower abdomen. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll switch sides. Let's pan through that right side. It's helpful if you get in right down to about 90 degrees to get pressure from pretty much directly above. That's what's going to work best for most people. It may not be best for you. You may find a bit of an angle, a more upright chest. Helps you free up this tissue. Just think of this as a self-experiment. Your experience may differ very much from other people's, depending on your anatomy, your injury history, what you've been up to lately, your amount of stress. So just experiment and find out what position, what type of pressure is going to help that tissue to settle down, to help free you up for better movement. And every chance we get, circling back to your breathing, find a nice, calm, relaxing state of breath that helps you find calm. Let's take one more long, slow inhale here. And gently sigh out that breath. And we'll move into a seated overhead twist and bend. Let's grab a PVC pipe if you have one handy, or a broom handle. And if you don't, just mimic the position you see in the video. And the idea here is to move that T-spine through its outer limits while we're in an overhead. So we're going to twist as far as we can to our left. And when we find we hit our end range, we're going to bend as far as we can in that direction. And then back to the other side. And we'll keep working our way through this and attempting to twist a little further and bend a little further each rep, while we're holding that pipe in an overhead position. And keep cycling through. These last few seconds, let's really make that T-spine work. Give it a good twist, second wind, a little more aggressive bend. We'll finish off this last rep with some good force. Challenge yourself in those end range positions. And we'll set those pipes down and move into a COBRA stretch. So back to your mat, face down, and just elevating up onto your elbows or your palms. And find a position that's comfortable for you. We don't want any pinchiness, not low back. Find that right amount of extension through that spine that feels right for today. If things are feeling good, we can move those palms tight together in close to your hips. That'll be the most extension, generally speaking. And to just go a little less intense, we can either spread the arms apart or move them further out in front of your body, further from the hips, to get less extension. So whatever position feels right for you today, let's let that be your stimulus. In a few seconds, we will get active through your core. And let's go ahead. Start by scrunching. Imagine doing an ab crunch, pulling your ribs down towards your pelvis. Really squeezing, adding tension as we go. Big tension here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through your low back, through your mid back. Actively pull yourself a little deeper into that stretch. Ramping up tension as we go. And big tension here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath. Find your passive position in that COBRA. You may find a deeper position in the stretch is okay now. And if not, we're not quite there, don't stress. We will get there. Keep trusting the process. Your body will continue to adapt and get there at whatever pace is okay for your body. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll go all the way face down, arms out in a Y. And just open yourself up into a scorpion stretch to stretch out that anterior delt, a little bit of those pecs. And in a few seconds, we're going to gently get active to reverse this by pressing down into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy pressure, pressing down into the floor, ramping up tension as we go. Big tension here towards the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that. Squeeze through your posterior delts. Actively pull yourself deeper into that stretch. Ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out. Relax. Get passive. Relax through that shoulder at the end of your pain-free range. And we'll move down into a second position. You can move slightly down and do a less of an overhead. You can go all the way down to 90. Try to find a position you tend to struggle with. And we'll just repeat. So we'll get active here in a few seconds by pressing into the palm. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy pressure. Pressing down to resist the stretch. Slowly ramping up tension as we go. And big tension here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeezing through those posterior delts, actively pulling deeper into that stretch. Ramping up tension as we go. Big finish here. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out. Relax. Get nice and passive. Submit to that position. Focus back on your breath. Let's take one more long, slow breath here. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll move into the right side. So arms back out into a Y. Open yourself up towards that right side. Get nice and passive. Find the end range of your pain-free range. Focusing on your breath. In a few seconds, we'll gently get active by pressing into that palm. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy. Pressing into that palm to resist the stretch, slowly ramping up tension as we go. Big tension here for the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through those posterior delts. Actively pull deeper into that stretch. Ramping up tension slowly as we go. And big tension here for the end. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Get nice and passive. Submit to the stretch. Let's move to a new position, moving that arm slightly further down. In a few seconds, we'll gently get active here again. And let's go ahead, actively pressing down that palm into the floor, slowly ramping up tension as we go. And really big tension here to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through that posterior delt, actively attempting to pull yourself deeper into the stretch, ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing here for the end. Give it a good squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Get nice and passive through that shoulder. Nice calming rhythm with your breath. Let's take one more long, slow, good deep inhale. Directing that air deep, slowly, letting that breath go. And with that, we will call it a day. Hope you liked today's routine. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to our channel and like. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.